I wasn't supposed to see the folder. It was hidden behind 3 fake work directories on my girlfriend's laptop. Inside were hundreds of videos. Videos of me sleeping. Me crying after arguments. Me having panic attacks. Each file had labels. And then I found the one video that made my stomach drop. She was sitting with her friends, laughing about how easy it was to train me. That's when I realized. The woman I loved had been psychologically experimenting on me for almost 2 years. Full cinematic script. The night everything broke apart started with a charger. That's it. A stupid phone charger. Lena had fallen asleep on the couch after another argument. The apartment still smelled like wine and burnt garlic bread. Netflix was paused on some true crime documentary neither of us had actually been watching. I remember standing there in silence, looking at her, trying to convince myself things were still normal. But nothing had felt normal for months. Not after the isolation. Not after she slowly convinced me my friends were toxic. Not after she started rewriting conversations that I clearly remembered. At first, it was small. Tiny corrections. You're remembering it wrong. That's not what I said. You always exaggerate. Then eventually. You're mentally unstable. And somehow, I started believing her. I stopped calling people. Stopped going out. Stopped trusting my own memory. Every argument ended the same way. Me apologizing for things I didn't even fully understand. That night, my phone was dying. Her laptop charger matched mine, so I quietly took it from the desk beside the couch. That's when her laptop screen went out. And I wish it hadn't. Because one notification appeared for half a second before disappearing. My chest tightened. Subject? Week 84? I stared at the screen. Maybe it was work-related. Lena worked in behavioral marketing research. Weird terminology wasn't unusual. But something about it felt cold. Wrong. I should have walked away. Instead, I clicked the trackpad. The laptop unlocked instantly. No password. And that was the first mistake she ever made. The desktop looked normal at first. Spreadsheets. Work folders. Presentation files. But one folder caught my attention. Recipes. Lena couldn't cook. I opened it. Nothing. Empty. Too empty. My heartbeat started climbing. I clicked Show Hidden Files. 3 more folders appeared. Session logs. Audio notes. Conditional. I felt my mouth go dry. No. No way. I opened conditional. Hundreds of video files. All dated. All organized. All about me. The first clip was from our kitchen. I clicked it. The camera angle was high. Hidden. Probably above the cabinets. I watched myself walk into frame looking exhausted after work. Lena's voice came from behind the camera. Soft. Sweet. Manipulative. Hey babe, did you call your sister today? Video me shook his head. No, I forgot. Then Lena said something that made my skin crawl. Good. Reinforcement is working better than expected. I paused the video. My hands were shaking now. I clicked another. And another. Different rooms. Different weeks. Every argument. Every breakdown. Recorded. Documented. Analyzed. Like I was some lab rat. Then I found the notes. Jesus Christ. The notes. Subject displays increased emotional dependency after sleep deprivation. Isolation tactics successful. Confidence deterioration accelerating. Recommend alternating affection with withdrawal. I physically backed away from the screen. I actually stumbled into the kitchen counter. Because suddenly, Every weird moment over the last 2 years started connecting together like shattered glass reforming itself. The random accusations. The intentional silent treatments. The fake flirting with other men to make me insecure. The night she'd suddenly become loving after emotionally destroying me. It wasn't random. It was calculated. I opened another file. This one wasn't a recording of me. It was Lena. Talking directly to the camera. She was smiling. Relaxed. Almost proud. Ryan's emotional resistance is almost completely gone now. He apologizes automatically during conflict. Memory confidence reduced significantly after repeated contradiction cycles. She laughed. Actually laughed. I honestly thought he'd catch on sooner. My stomach twisted so hard I thought I was going to throw up. Then came the worst part. She looked into the camera and said, "People are so desperate to be loved, they'll let you rewrite their reality." Silence. Cold silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. I looked over at her sleeping on the couch. The woman I almost proposed to. And for the first time, I felt afraid of her. Not angry. Afraid. Because normal people don't do this. I kept digging. And somehow it got worse. There were audio recordings of private phone calls. Screenshots of my therapy messages. Notes about my childhood trauma. Even a file labeled trigger words that produce compliance. I opened it. Abandonment. Disappointment. Selfish. Crazy. Each one had observations beside it. Effective during confrontation. I couldn't breathe properly anymore. Everything in my life suddenly felt fake. Even my emotions didn't belong to me anymore. Then I found the folder that destroyed whatever innocence I still had left. Collaboration. Inside were group chats. Videos. Voice memos. Lena wasn't doing this alone. Her friends knew. One message read, "How long until he completely breaks?" Another, "Told you he was easy to isolate." And then, "Do you think he'd hurt himself if you disappeared?" Followed by laughing emojis. Laughing. My vision blurred. I sat there staring at the screen while my entire relationship decomposed in real time. Then I saw a name. Marcus. My best friend. No. No, no, no. I opened the thread. Marcus had been feeding her information about me for over a year. My insecurities. My fears. Private conversations. Everything. There was even a screenshot of a message I'd sent him after a panic attack. His reply to Lena. "He's getting weaker. You were right." I stopped feeling sad after that. Something colder replaced it. Something sharp. Because betrayal from one person hurts. Betrayal from everyone? That changes you. Behind me, I heard movement. The couch creaked. I slammed the laptop shut instinctively. Lena rubbed her eyes. "You okay?" The way she studied my face before speaking. Like she was measuring reactions. I forced myself to smile. "Yeah. Just tired." Her eyes narrowed slightly. For one terrifying second. I thought she knew. Then she smiled. "Come to bed." I barely slept that night. Every time she touched me, my skin crawled. At 3:14 a.m., she whispered, "You know I'm the only person who truly understands you, right?" Before that night, I would have believed her. Now it sounded like a threat. The next morning, I started planning. Not screaming. Not confrontation. Planning. Because people like Lena survive through emotional chaos. If I exploded, she'd manipulate the story. She'd call me unstable. Paranoid. Obsessed. And honestly, after 2 years of psychological warfare, I wasn't fully sure I could defend myself verbally anymore. So I stayed quiet. And I collected evidence. For 3 weeks, I pretended everything was normal. I kissed her goodbye before work. Watched movies with her. Listened to her fake apologies after arguments she intentionally created. But secretly, I copied everything. Every video. Every message. Every recording. I uploaded duplicates to encrypted cloud drives. Sent backup files to a new anonymous email. Built timelines. Screenshots. Folders. I became obsessed. And during those weeks, I noticed something horrifying. Lena enjoyed escalation. The crueler she became, the happier she looked. One night she randomly accused me of cheating. Out of nowhere. She threw my phone against the wall. Started crying. Said I was emotionally abandoning her. And while she was crying, I noticed it. A tiny smile she tried to hide. That's when I understood. This wasn't insecurity. It was entertainment. I started researching psychological manipulation, coercive control, trauma bonding, gaslighting cycles, narcissistic abuse patterns. And the deeper I went, the more terrified I became. Because Lena checked every single box. Then came the twist I never expected. I found another folder. Archive, previous subjects. My blood turned to ice. There were others. 3 men before me. Photos. Notes. Psychological profiles. One of them had apparently been hospitalized after a breakdown. Another moved across the country. And one had attempted suicide. I just stared at the screen. Horrified. Because suddenly this wasn't just revenge anymore. This was a pattern. A system. And I realized something else. She'd never stop. Not unless someone exposed her. That's when the revenge stopped being emotional. It became surgical. I contacted the previous victims anonymously first. Only one responded. Daniel. We met at a diner outside the city. He looked exhausted. Older than his age. The second he sat down, he asked, "How much did she take from you?" Not what happened. Not who are you. How much did she take from you? That told me everything. Daniel explained how Lena slowly isolated him too. How she made him question his own sanity. How she intentionally triggered emotional meltdowns just to record reactions. She likes control, he whispered. Not love. Then he said something I'll never forget. She studies pain like other people study music. I showed him the files. His hands shook reading them. Then his expression changed. Fear turned into anger. People need to see this. And that's exactly what we planned. Carefully. Legally. Strategically. Not revenge porn. Not harassment. Evidence. Truth. Because the scariest people survive by controlling perception. So we destroyed the perception. Lena worked for a behavioral consulting company. Prestigious. Public image obsessed. And according to the files, she had used real psychological manipulation techniques from workplace research studies on actual partners without consent. Which meant this wasn't just immoral. It could destroy her career permanently. Over the next month, Daniel and I organized everything into a documented timeline. Video evidence. Metadata. Audio transcripts. Witness statements. Psychological evaluations from former victims. And the entire time, Lena had no idea. She kept playing games. Kept pushing buttons. One night she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You'd be nothing without me." I almost laughed. Because she had no idea what was coming. Then fate handed me the final weapon. Lena announced a huge dinner party. Coworkers. Friends. Executives from her company. She wanted to celebrate a promotion. Of course she did. To her, people were trophies. And suddenly, I knew exactly when to end it. The night of the dinner, our apartment looked perfect. Candles. Wine glasses. Jazz music floating through the speakers. Lena wore a black dress I used to love. Guests laughed around the dining table while she played the charming, intelligent, emotionally sophisticated woman everyone adored. Watching it made me sick. Because now I could see the performance. Every smile timed perfectly. Every touch rehearsed. Halfway through dinner, Lena stood up with her wine glass. I just want to thank everyone who supported me through this incredible year. I looked around the table. Nobody knew. Not yet. She started talking about empathy. Human behavior. Emotional intelligence. And I swear to God, I almost admired the audacity. Then she said, "Understanding people deeply is a gift." That was my cue. I stood up slowly. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. Lena smiled at me. "Babe? You want to say something?" I nodded. Then connected my phone to the TV. Her smile disappeared instantly. The first video appeared on screen. Lena. Speaking into the hidden camera. Subject displays increased dependency after emotional destabilization. Silence. Absolute silence. People looked confused. Then another clip played. And another. Her coworkers stopped smiling. Someone whispered, "What the hell is this?" Lena stood up fast. "Ryan, turn this off." I didn't even look at her. Next clip. Her laughing with friends about training me. Next clip. Psychological notes. Manipulation strategies. Next clip. Marcus feeding her personal information about me. Gasps around the room. One woman covered her mouth. Lena's entire body changed. The mask cracked instantly. "No," she snapped. "You went through my private files? Private files? Private files?" I finally looked at her. "You recorded me for 2 years." Her face twitched. Not guilt. Rage. Because narcissists don't panic when they hurt people. They panic when they lose control. She started crying immediately. Weaponized tears. "I was documenting our relationship because you were unstable." Then I played the final recording. The one she never expected me to find. It was from 6 months earlier. Lena talking to the camera. Cold. Smiling. "If he ever exposes me, I'll just convince everyone he's mentally ill." By this point, most people will believe me. The room went dead silent. Destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And for the first time since I met her, Lena had nothing left to manipulate. One of her coworkers stood up slowly. "I'm leaving." Then another. And another. Nobody touched dessert. Nobody said goodbye. Marcus tried calling me 12 times that night. I blocked him. Lena's company launched an internal investigation within days. Apparently executives at the dinner had recorded parts of the confrontation themselves. The story spread fast. Especially after 2 former victims officially came forward. Lena lost the promotion first. Then her position. Then her professional reputation. Her friend group collapsed after leaked messages surfaced online. And suddenly the woman who controlled everyone through psychological pressure was completely alone. But here's the part nobody expects. Revenge didn't feel good immediately. It felt empty. For months, I still doubted myself. Still questioned memories. Still flinched during arguments with people. That kind of manipulation rewires your brain. Sometimes I'd wake up at night hearing her voice. "You're overreacting. You're imagining things. You need me. Healing wasn't cinematic. It was ugly. Slow. Therapy. Isolation. Learning how to trust my own thoughts again. But one moment changed everything. About a year later, I got an email from a woman I'd never met. Subject line: "You saved my brother." Her brother had recently started dating Lena before the exposure happened. He found the videos online, recognized manipulation patterns immediately, and left before things escalated. I sat there staring at the email for a long time. Because that's when I realized something. Lena wanted control more than love. And the cruelest thing you can do to people like that is make them powerless. Last I heard, she moved to another state. Different job. Different social circle. Different victims, maybe. I don't know. And honestly, I stopped caring. Because the version of me she tried to destroy no longer exists. She taught me something terrifying though. Some people don't enter relationships looking for connection. They enter looking for access. Access to your fears. Your loneliness. Your weaknesses. And once they learn those things, they decide whether to love you or use you. So if someone constantly makes you question your reality, pay attention. Love shouldn't feel like psychological survival. And the scariest manipulators? They don't scream. They study you quietly. Until you forget who you were before they arrived. She wanted to rewrite my mind so completely that nobody would believe me when I finally told the truth. She almost succeeded.